Hello, my name is Swiss Bianco. In this video we will have a technical overlook on the Maverick Model 88. That's a company together with Mossberg. It's just their current still least expensive basic model. We have here a bit older version, but currently apparently according to the website, the rear stock is a bit different. We see here the ventilation, those slots are a bit in a different shape now by the current stock, and probably the knurling here, the texturing is a bit different as well. I'm not sure exactly how old this one is, I got that used. And but it still gives us an overview how the item is. We also have to look at this detail here. I just removed the side saddle, so that screw is usually flush fit and black and not standing out like this. The model we have here is just the 18.5-inch model with the regular bead sight with the short 5-round magazine tube here. So all in all, I would say we still have one of the best working models for the budget price around here in USA. It's also made in USA, but there are some drawbacks, and I'm gonna show that. It's always the question, what should I buy? Should I just get a Maverick 88 variation, or should I get a Mossberg 500 or a Model 590? Quick about the SHOT Show 2024, they did show the latest models, basically the evolution in which direction it actually goes. So the evolution is that we have on top not only the 4 holes for the optic mounts that we don't have on this basic model, but also a millet part over here, that red dot mounting solution is already directly milled into the top of the receiver, and that is filled up with metal plate insert with a ghost ring sight with protective ears. It's called the professional model as best as I remember, so that gives us a bit insight in which direction it goes. The front sight is not only a simple bead like we have it here. I just added a bit orange nail polish so it's more visual. They added a front sight, a fiber optic front sight with protective wings. Both the front and the rear sight are relative low mounted, so you can put the gun in a rack relative easy. Plus they say the recoil is a bit less because you have a proper G-weld, and the whole sighting system is not that high up in the air, and that is completely correct as best as I see. Another point that they did change is finally started dehorning some parts, like the loading gate here. Sometimes the corners of the aluminium receiver are relative sharp. The same is here by the ejection port. Those corners of the aluminium could be rounded off way better. And then last point, they finally did address the finish. The receiver is aluminium, we know that, and the barrel and the magazine tube are steel and blued in this case. That is on the most inexpensive versions like that, and that basically is just a bluing, and it rusts really easy if you don't care about. They did select a gray Cerakote finish on their latest, most modern guns, the versions of the 590. So in this direction it goes. They did not say what kind of follower they did use. They did not say if they finally had the forcing cone inside the barrel lengthened, so that there would be less recoil and hopefully a bit more tight pattern. That much in the details they did not go. Those models are not yet on the Mossberg website either, but it still gives us an impression in which direction that it goes. One last point is always the stock. On the basically all the different Mossberg models, you can interchange the buttstock relatively easy. You have 2 screws to take off the butt plate, then you need a long screwdriver to get to the screw that holds the stock on the aluminium receiver. Say if you want to use a Mossberg stock, they make a great tactical version that is also adjustable in the length. That is possible. Mossberg sell the flex system. That is a even more easier flexible solution without too much screwdriver work involved, that you can change or take off the stock for a more compact storage. You can get also a flex pistol grip if you want to change from a buttstock to a pistol grip only. And of course there is the traditional pistol grip version from Mossberg that you simply screw on after you removed this stock here. Now length of pull is always important. We have here 14 inches. By the professional new models it's gonna go down to 13 inches, which means 1 inch less. That is always the question. It depends what you wanna do with it. This one is in the setup more for home defense, so I like a length of pull of about 13 inches. So that means that this stock here is about 1 inch too long, and because the way how that stock is internally set up, they made it really well. We have the one screw that is on top going inwards, that is all good, and then the second screw is not on the bottom but a bit more on top there going in as well. So we have a rib inside the stock. It's relatively easy to shorten the plastic stock that 1 inch, and then you have simply that rubber part here that sticks out a little bit too low to grind to shape as well. And we see, because we don't have the slotting, we have enough space then that it still works and still look good. So really well done. With the newer butt pads, it looks like the slotting goes a bit more down, so there would be a shortening a bit less easy. Again, you can get the Magpul stock. That is a great stock. I use that on many shotguns as well. This one is just a build on the minimum. Then, of course, you can add a side saddle. In this case, it's going to be a solid side saddle that is screwed on the old-fashioned way. But of course, you can also get the new placard kind that just needs a Velcro to put on and finish. Then the main difference between the Mossberg 500, 590 and the Maverick is, of course, the safety in the trigger guard here. The cheapest model, the Maverick 88, has the safety here instead of top tang like the other models, and there are no holes, no tapped holes for mount a rail, so you can mount the optic. There is simply nothing on it, plain. Of course you can always drill and tap yourself, and for the optic mounts that they mill directly in the top of the receiver, I sure hope that soon here in USA some aftermarket companies gonna offer that you can send them your receiver and the stripped receiver, and they gonna mill out this section here so you can mount a red dot, hopefully for a bit economical price, because the sighting system next to the stock, the sighting system is really important, and that would be a heck of an upgrade if somebody could mount a low mount modern red dot. If you want to do that, it's of course always the question how much money you want to spend. The red dot quite likely going to be the same price as the shotgun, maybe even more, so it depends what you want to do with it. Then we have the follower inside here. We see the follower is red. In this case I did take that already out. Usually that steel, carbon steel follower is blued like the bottle and the magazine tube, so I painted it in red so it's more visual. That is one part, one of the problematic parts, because the magazine tube is completely enclosed from this side and the front side. As we're gonna see, there is a cleaning or lubrication not that easy, plus often there it starts to rust, so that is a problematic spot. Now this one, I took this one apart. The thread that screws into the aluminium receiver had Loctite on it, and quite a lot of it, so it needed a good amount of heat to loosen up the Loctite and remove it. So it's not easy done. On the other side, if you're not gonna do that, if you're not going to change anything, that makes sure that the magazine tube is absolute solid in the receiver. So it's 50-50, it's on both sides. At least I could loosen it up and take it out. Then another problem on the Maverick is the forend. We have in this case here a Cope style forend. That works with side saddles. If you have a hunting version that is a bit longer, overlapping, then it may not work with the side saddle arrangement, maybe with a shorter side saddle. Now this is a simple polymer plastic piece with two metal bars left and right pinned into place. So inside we don't have a metal tube with a nut in front that holds the plastic on the metal, like by the 500 and 590, which means we cannot change it, say, to the great Magpul forend with the M-lock slots, so we can pretty easy mount a flashlight or a laser or whatever you wanna have on the forend. There is simply not much that you can do about it. Those metal forends of the 500, 590 will fit the Maverick, no problem at all, but they cost quite a bit of money. Plus then you need the Magpul forend as well. So that all cost quite a bit of money, and it's a question if you want to do that. Like it is, it pumps really well, it has enough traction on it, it just has no space for mounting a flashlight or anything. So what we have is a bit space between the forend and the bottle band here, the bottle ring, that we can clamp something in here. By clamping it's always a problem Some clamps are made out of plastic and they're not gonna last because the recoil of a 12 gauge is relatively strong. So that is still a bit a problem area here. We also see that has the typical Mossberg attachment with the curled part here, knurled part of the screw that goes directly in the magazine tube. So you can take off the bottle, but it's still basically a closed tube. So there is no way that you can easily clean it, or that you can even use a magazine extension like by a Remington 870. We still have about 3 inches of a bottle that we could have a longer magazine for minimum 1 round more in the magazine tube. That you cannot do that on this version how it is, and there is basically no way around it except if you change the magazine tube to a 590, who has a traditional style knurled cap over it, and you get those magazine tubes in different length too, so it would be already the full length. And of course you would need a new bottle with a completely different attachment to the magazine tube. So that is a really big problem in that regard if you want to change it. Palmetto State Armory gonna come out with a really nice concept pump action maybe in a year or two that separates that problem, that the bottle is in the receiver without this kind of arrangement or a screw or a cap like it is traditionally done, yeah, quite likely on all pump action tube fed shotguns in the past. So that's going to be interesting for test for sure how that works. But with this one here you are basically like that. We have here a 18.5 inch traditional bottle. You can get the same also with a 20-inch bottle with a full length magazine tube. There you have the problem that you can't get, say, a hunting bottle if you want to have a set like this one bottle plus a longer bottle, maybe 24 inches, maybe with adjustable chokes. There in this system you can change it with the longer system with the full 20-inch bottle and the longer magazine tube, like with the same setup. You can't, as best as I know, there is no hunting bottle for that system available. So it depends what you wanna do. This is just basic, the absolute basic black cheapest version of the Maverick 88 system that you can use. Other than that, we see some little details like here it came with that part for add a sling. That is also something that is nice. On the buttstock there isn't any sling mount. It has a bit a flat spot there, but there was no hole and no metal for a sling. That just came like this. I don't know if all are like that or if that was a Monday model. That is how that is. Then the action feels sometimes a bit rougher than a Mossberg 500, 590. This is easy to change. You use it a bit, you see where the parts rub on each other, and then you can polish that with the Dremel. Just need to be careful and dehorn the parts a bit, polish it, and then lube it up, and of course shoot it again quite a bit, and then it gets smooth. So function wise no problem at all, except the safety of course is different. So yeah, is it worth it? I would say yes, because the system works, and if you know the limitations and if you can live with it, or if you can get around it, like shortening the stock, changing the sides, then that is still one of the best buys around, at least here in USA. So that much about the Maverick 88, just the basic version, the technical details.